New constellation. The International Science Summit buzzed with anticipation. Delegates from 12 nations gathered alongside corporate representatives and government officials. The presentation by Earth's first human-alien research team promising unprecedented scientific breakthrough, despite rumors of diplomatic complications. Jaden adjusted the holographic projector, his heart racing with equal parts excitement and apprehension. Naira beside him, radiating calm confidence despite everything at stake. "We're really doing this," he whispered, their plan either brilliantly courageous or spectacularly foolish, depending on perspective. "Truth transcends diplomatic convenience," she replied, her twilight eyes meeting his with warmth that still amazed him after everything they'd discovered about each other in recent weeks. Director Weiss approached, her expression carefully neutral for the assembled audience, despite the fury Jaden knew simmered beneath. "I remind you both that all presented materials must adhere to approved protocols. Unauthorized disclosures will have significant consequences." "Of course," Jaden smiled pleasantly. "We understand completely." The lights dimmed as they took the stage, Naira's purple skin luminescent under the spotlights, her presence commanding attention without effort. Jaden began their presentation, outlining conventional quantum entanglement theory before transitioning to their collaborative research. "What we've discovered represents more than scientific advancement," Jaden explained, as holographic models materialized above the stage. Particles connected across vast distances, maintaining instantaneous communication regardless of spatial separation. Naira continued seamlessly. "This principle applies beyond theoretical physics, offering practical applications in energy production, communication, and environmental restoration." The audience leaned forward as they detailed their breakthrough. Clean energy systems using quantum principles to harness virtually unlimited power without radiation or waste. Communication networks operating instantaneously across vast distances, environmental applications that could reverse climate damage. "This research results from genuine collaboration," Naira stated, her voice carrying throughout the hall. "Not controlled knowledge exchange, but shared discovery between equals." Jaden took a deep breath before continuing, the crucial deviation from their approved script. "Unfortunately, some would prefer to weaponize these principles." The holographic display shifted, revealing classified documents from Galactic Unity Corporation, detailing military applications, plans to monopolize and control Stellarian technology. Gasps rippled through the audience, government officials exchanging alarmed glances, corporate representatives shifting uncomfortably in their seats. "We present this research openly," Jaden declared, "to both worlds, because scientific advancement should benefit all, not empower few. The principles we've discovered offer solutions to humanity's greatest challenges, but only through genuine cooperation without hidden agendas or exploitation." The uproar was immediate. Security personnel moving toward the stage, government officials demanding explanations, corporate lawyers hurriedly conferring, Director Weiss's face contorted with barely contained rage. In the ensuing chaos, Naira activated the second phase of their plan, a direct transmission to the Stellarian Council, bypassing corporate protocols, presenting their complete findings alongside evidence of attempted weaponization. Simultaneously, Jaden transmitted the same information to select scientific journals and media outlets, ensuring the knowledge couldn't be contained. The weeks that followed brought tumultuous change. Investigations launched into Galactic Unity Corporation's activities. International oversight committees formed to establish new protocols for interspecies scientific collaboration. The Stellarian Council withdrawing from exclusive corporate arrangements in favor of direct scientific exchange programs. Jaden and Naira faced questioning from multiple agencies, their contract marriage technically dissolved by corporate decree, yet their partnership stronger than any legal arrangement could define. "What happens now?" Jaden asked, as they stood on the balcony of their new apartment, funded by independent research grants. watching the sunset paint the city in colors that reminded him of Naira's homeworld as she had described it. Naira's fingers entwined with his, her purple skin contrasting beautifully against his. "We continue our research," she said. "Our contract ended, but our connection remains. My people have approved my permanent Earth assignment with conditions." "What conditions?" "That I maintain my current partnership," she smiled. "That particular arrangement has proven unexpectedly successful." Jaden pulled her closer. "You mean they want us to stay together?" "Stellarians recognize effective pairings," Naira explained. "Our cognitive resonance produces superior outcomes. Our continued association benefits both worlds." Jaden laughed softly. "Is that the Stellarian way of proposing?" Naira's expression shifted to one he'd come to treasure, a mixture of curiosity, amusement, and affection. "I believe human custom requires formal questions and symbolic jewelry." "Someday," Jaden promised, kissing her gently, "when we're ready for more than scientific partnership, when we choose it for ourselves, not for diplomacy or research." 6 months later, they stood together before a small gathering of humans and Stellarians, exchanging vows, not for political alliance or corporate agenda, but for the simple, profound truth that had emerged from their unlikely beginning. Across galaxies, across species, across differences that once seemed insurmountable, they had found each other, proving that sometimes the most unexpected arrangements revealed the most profound truths about connection, about possibility, about love that transcends even the vast distances between stars. Their story became legend on two worlds: the scientist and the diplomat, who transformed an artificial union into genuine connection, their research continuing to bridge worlds, their partnership demonstrating that understanding between different species required not careful distance, but courageous closeness, not controlled exchange, but genuine sharing of knowledge, ideas, and ultimately hearts. As Naira had explained in her native language on their wedding day, using words that had no perfect translation in human speech, "Together we form a new constellation, previously unseen but eternally connected. Points of light, creating patterns that change how both our worlds view the universe." Hidden talents. The new laboratory Galactic Unity had provided exceeded Jaden's wildest expectations. Cutting-edge equipment, previously available only to government facilities, filled the sprawling space. Quantum computers, holographic modeling systems, materials that defied conventional physics, all at his disposal with unlimited funding and no university oversight. For the first time in his career, Jaden could pursue his theories without compromise, without justifying every experiment to skeptical review boards. The freedom was intoxicating, almost enough to make him forget the arrangement that made it possible. Almost. 2 months into their contract marriage, Jaden and Naira had established a cautious routine. She occasionally visited his laboratory, asking thoughtful questions about his work. He sometimes joined her for evening meals, where they discussed Earth culture and Stellarian customs, maintaining professional distance while developing something resembling comfortable companionship. Jaden was running a particularly complex quantum entanglement experiment late one evening when Naira appeared in the doorway, her purple skin luminous under the laboratory lights. "You should adjust the containment parameters," she said, observing the holographic models floating above his workstation. "The particle acceleration sequence is approaching unstable resonance." Jaden glanced at his calculations. "I've accounted for standard deviation. The containment field should hold." "The particles in your experiment aren't behaving according to your Earth models." Naira stepped closer, her eyes tracking data streams with remarkable speed. "There's a cascading effect your instruments aren't detecting." Before Jaden could respond, alarms blared throughout the laboratory as energy readings spiked beyond predicted levels. Containment field integrity dropping rapidly, the holographic display flashing urgent warnings. "Everyone out!" Jaden shouted to his research assistants who scrambled toward emergency exits. A quantum containment breach could theoretically create a localized reality distortion with unpredictable consequences. Instead of fleeing, Naira moved swiftly to the control panel, her fingers dancing across the interface with impossible precision, inputting commands in sequences Jaden didn't recognize, speaking words in her native language that seemed to interface directly with the system. The alarms suddenly silenced, energy readings stabilizing, then receding. The potential catastrophe averted with apparent ease. Jaden stared at Naira, shock and confusion washing over him. "What did you just do?" he asked when they were alone. "Emergency protocols from our systems aren't compatible with yours." "Not exactly," Naira admitted. "I recalibrated the quantum harmonics, using principles my people discovered centuries ago. The mathematics involved doesn't translate well to human language." Jaden processed this information with growing awareness. "You didn't just understand my experiment, you improved it instantaneously, using knowledge beyond Earth science." Naira's expression remained carefully neutral. "Stellarians approach quantum mechanics differently. Our understanding of particle behavior benefits from longer observation history." "Why haven't your people shared this knowledge?" Jaden asked. The implications for energy production, medical technology, space travel were staggering. "Some technologies require contextual understanding," Naira explained. "Our diplomatic protocols restrict knowledge transfer to prevent misapplication. Certain concepts must be introduced gradually." Later that night, as they walked home, both refusing the corporate car that would record their conversation, Jaden finally asked the question that had been forming since the laboratory incident. "You're not really a diplomat, are you?" Naira was silent for several steps before responding. "I am what my people require me to be, as are all Stellarians." "But you're a scientist," Jaden persisted, "a quantum physicist like me, probably far more advanced." "My original research involved cross-dimensional communication," Naira admitted, "studying how consciousness might traverse quantum boundaries between realities." Jaden stopped walking, staring at her with new understanding. "That's why your people were interested in my work, despite everyone else dismissing it as impossible." Her twilight eyes met his with unexpected warmth. "Your intuitive leaps approached correct principles, despite limited technological framework. Impressive, considering Earth's scientific development timeline." The revelation transformed their dynamic in ways the contract never anticipated. Over subsequent weeks, they began collaborating in earnest, Naira sharing carefully selected Stellarian concepts, Jaden applying them with his research, making breakthroughs that excited even his most skeptical colleagues. They spent evenings discussing physical theory, their conversations flowing seamlessly between scientific principles and personal perspectives. Naira gradually revealing more about Stellarian culture, Jaden sharing stories from his academic struggles, finding unexpected common ground despite their different worlds. Then came the morning Jaden found Naira collapsed in their living room, her purple skin pale, her breathing labored. "Earth's atmospheric composition," she managed to explain between ragged breaths. "Accumulated exposure creating cellular degradation, requires rebalancing." Jaden reached for his communication device to contact Galactic Unity, but Naira weakly caught his wrist. "The corporation will recall me to the Stellarian vessel. Diplomatic protocols require quarantine for significant health incidents, potentially ending our arrangement." Their eyes met, understanding passing between them without words. In that moment, transcending their arrangement, transcending species differences, Jaden made his decision. "I'll help you," he promised, "whatever you need." Breaking protocol. The solution required components not available through conventional channels. Jaden leveraging scientific contacts to acquire specialized materials without alerting Galactic Unity. The environmental chamber taking shape in Naira's room, resembling something between medical equipment and alien technology based on her careful instructions.
"Is this going to work?" he asked, connecting the final elements according to her specifications. The device would create a microenvironment matching Stellarian atmospheric conditions, allowing her body to recover from Earth's cumulative toxic effects. "Theoretically," Naira replied, her voice weaker than Jaden had ever heard, the pallor of her purple skin concerning him deeply. "You should have told me sooner that Earth was making you sick," Jaden said, adjusting calibrations with careful precision. "Adaptation is expected in diplomatic service," she explained. "Protocols discourage highlighting physiological incompatibilities to avoid creating barriers between species." Jaden activated the chamber, watching anxious as Naira stepped inside, the specialized atmosphere immediately enveloping her. "If anyone discovers this, we'll both face consequences," he warned. She met his eyes before the chamber sealed. "I understand what you risk for me. This exceeds contractual obligations." 3 days later, Naira emerged restored, her luminous purple skin regaining its subtle iridescence. Her strength returned. She found Jaden sleeping in a chair beside the chamber, having maintained constant vigil despite his own exhaustion. "Our arrangement has evolved beyond parameters," she observed softly as he woke. Jaden rubbed his eyes, relief washing over him at seeing her recovered. "Beyond parameters," he agreed with a small smile. Their scientific collaboration accelerated, Naira cautiously sharing more Stellarian knowledge, Jaden applying it with innovative approaches, their combined research progressing toward a breakthrough in quantum communication that could revolutionize both worlds. Their personal boundaries simultaneously dissolving, conversations extending beyond science into philosophy, art, personal histories. "We weren't supposed to become friends," Jaden remarked one evening as they shared a meal in their apartment. "Friendship is an inadequate translation," Naira replied, her twilight eyes holding his. "Stellarian cognitive resonance more accurately describes when minds align in complementary patterns." The corporate monitoring system in their apartment registered the increased time spent together, the changing patterns of their interaction, triggering protocols designed to maintain control over the arrangement. Director Weiss arrived unannounced one morning, her expression severe. "Unauthorized collaboration undermines our security protocols," she stated, coldly reviewing data on her tablet. Detailed logs of their activities, conversations, research. "We've violated no specific terms," Jaden argued. "The contract doesn't prohibit scientific exchange." "The contract requires adherence to corporate guidelines," Weiss countered, "including restricted knowledge transfer protocols. Your quantum communication experiments incorporate unauthorized Stellarian principles." The corporation's true agenda crystallized for Jaden in that moment. They wanted controlled access to Stellarian technology, not genuine scientific advancement, definitely not actual connection between species. "Your contract marriage was arranged for specific objectives," Weiss continued, "not for actual collaboration. The Stellarian government has been notified of protocol violations. Naira will return to the vessel